Hey y'all, just got done with today's workout. It's a fun one. We've got 30, 20, 10 reps for intensity and technique. That just means the first round, all the reps of every movement is going to be 30. The second round, they're all going to be 20. The next one, they're all going to be 10. So it starts with overhead squats at a really light weight, 30% of a max. What we can do is, if you're someone who doesn't quite have that overhead squat position, but you want to start building up into it, what we can do for the overhead squats is we can cut the reps in half and then add in a 2 breath pause at your lowest best position. So instead of going lower than what your mobility can handle just to go down low enough, just go to the best, lowest position you can handle, 2 breaths, come back up, and by doing that, we'll just cut the reps in half. So that's one variation. The other variation is we can use the barbell, and we're going to go overhead lunges. That way we can kind of attack the quads in a similar way, but it's a little less technical of an exercise. And if we don't have a barbell at all, we're going to go into the dumbbells or kettlebells, doing overhead lunges like that. Toes to bar is the next. If you're going to scale that, we first like you to start by scaling the reps. And this first round should be under, the total number should be under a max set. So if your max set of toes to bar is 15, then we probably want to be using something around that 15 mark and maybe going 15, 10, 5 for your toe to bar reps. So we want something that's challenging, and it's okay if you end up breaking this up into multiple sets. We just want you to have something where you're not going to end up having a showstopper, especially the sit-ups after the toes to bar are really hard. But then when you come back around to toes to bar a couple times, they get obviously even harder. So if you don't have a bar at all, we're just going to do anchored leg raises. Some people call those candlesticks. And basically it's a very similar motion on the ground. Then we have sit-ups. If you have an ab mat, a pillow, a yoga mat, or something to throw under your lower back, we can work on getting that extension before we flex to come up. So I think this took me 8.5 minutes. I was taking my time. My strategy on this one, I was more curious than anything. I usually don't have the opportunity to try and do really big sets of toes to bar. A lot of time we put them in workouts and we leave them in like the 5 to 15 range to keep people really moving through. But with the overhead squats being light, the sit-ups being kind of a resting cardio position, especially going into the overhead squats, I knew that was going to make the core harder, but the toe to bar is a lot about tying the full body in and taking advantage of the lats in that kip position. So mainly I was looking at this kind of as an experiment, so that had a lot to do with my strategy here, and I just tried to go unbroken on everything, and I surprised myself. I thought I'd be able to do it on the first round, and then on the second round I thought that's where I wasn't going to really have a chance. I knew maybe it was going to happen on overhead squats, but at that percentage I was pretty confident that I was going to be able to do it, especially with the rest we're getting in sit-ups. And then I just didn't know what was going to go on the toes to bar. So today's a good one. It's for intensity and technique. It's not for time. So whenever we have these, we have the opportunity to, one, work on technique and prioritize that over everything else. But you also have the opportunity, your time's not going to go on a board. You're not going to be judged for your time. So you have the opportunity to try some new rep schemes out. Maybe get out of your comfort zone a little bit. See if you burn out. See if you don't burn out. So today's a great opportunity for that. So recommendations here for the overhead squats. This is going to be light enough to go unbroken, but it wouldn't be terrible to break it up into 2 or 3 sets. That'd be perfectly fine. Toes to bar, hanging knee raises, laying leg raises, whatever you're doing, same kind of thing. Like unbroken to 3 sets is probably where you want to be at. If you need to break the first set of 30 up into more than 3 sets, we should probably just be changing the number or scaling how we're doing the exercise to begin with. Sit-ups is just try and go unbroken. Sit-ups made me feel pretty stupid. You're coming after the toes to bar, and then you're trying to use the same movement pattern on a simpler movement, but you're kind of burned out already. So I was really struggling with the sit-ups. So I was just pausing a little more and taking a little slower up top than I usually do. But if you have to break the sit-ups up a few times, that's fine. But if you start hitting the failure point, just go ahead and move on to the next thing. So fail. If you fail at rep 21, that means we've gone kind of past what we were trying to do to you and going past the stimulus. So go ahead and just move on to the overhead squats. Come back, see if you can do 20. If you can only do 12, cool. move on to the next thing. So just look at those as getting either these numbers, or we want those hard sets in. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're going to throw a 15-minute cap on this workout. But honestly, I think most people are going to finish under the time cap. The only people that are going to be pushing it up at the time cap are the ones that probably aren't choosing the right weight, or maybe not scaling enough on the toes to bar. But again, if you come up against the time cap, no big deal. Who cares? Good workout. I had fun. Hope you enjoy it. You can always check the description of this video or our WOD blog for more information, details on the workout, tips, at-home scaling, different variations, things like that. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to y'all soon.